Okay, so because I'm on a budget here, I've decided that I'm gonna restore and reuse these leaf springs. I went ahead and put on this pin in case they snap out of place or something like that and try to kill me. And I've already began to remove these clamps. I have new ones, so I'm gonna put those. So yeah, let's remove all of them and see from there. Okay, so they are disassembled. This is what the interior of a leaf spring looks like. These are the anti-squeak pads, and I went ahead and bought new ones because these don't really look like squeakable anymore. And along with these, I also went ahead and bought new clamps because the old ones are toast. And along with these, also some center pins. The only thing left to do is remove this sleeve right here, and after that I'm gonna take them to the sandblast and then put them all back together. Okay, so I went ahead and got the parts from the sandblaster, and we are in Paint Booth version 2.0 here. I prepped them all up, also these control arms. Right now I'm gonna go ahead and mix some epoxy and I'm gonna spray all of them. Okay, so it is one of those days. I just finished painting these control arms. I have these left. My compressor died. I am out of nitro reducer. My gun is filled with paint, so basically I can throw it away because I can't clean it up and I need to buy a new one. And these will continue to rust. So yeah, right now I need to brainstorm a little bit and see what I can do. So the only solution I found is this. I know that this is even less professional than what I do here, but what can I say? Desperate times call for desperate measures. So it's the next day here, they are all dried up. I prepared everything on my chair / workbench here, and I got the anti-squeak pads. They're gonna go in these locations, and what I did was I applied some masking tape on the back of them just to kind of make them stick. Don't know if that's good or bad, but we'll find out. I already went ahead and assembled one of these, and I just put the center pin in it. And looking at these clamps, they have different sizes, so that means I gotta see which one I need to put where, because this leaf has different thicknesses throughout the entire length. So yeah, I think I will need to look at some old pictures and see kind of where everything goes. I already got one on, and the way I'm doing this is I kind of clamp it very tight with this guy, and after that I take this hammer and I hammer the edges right here just to fold it in a little bit, and after that I remove this clamp. I put it here, the other one I put it here, and I go all the way. And once I finish doing that, I will take my vice grips and grab it like this and kind of tweak it a little bit, and after that hammer it in all the way. So there you go, this is how it should look after you're finished. One thing I would like to point out though is that I had to trim a little bit these pieces right here, because for some reason these are a lot longer than I expected. I don't know if I bought the wrong ones for 5 leaves because I have a 4 leaf, or they're just made like that, but I don't know. So this is what I did, 2 cuts here and made this section longer. Now it's ready to go. You also might want to look at them being straight, not going to the sides, and if they are a little bit crooked, you can just take a hammer and tap them and they will go into place. So here they are finished. The first one was actually pretty hard to get in.
That's what she said.
But once I did that, everything went smoothly. I also went ahead and masked these so I can paint these clips so they don't rust in the future. And now that they're done, I'm gonna put them aside and move to other things. I also cleaned up and degreased these old parts. My compressor is still dead, but I'm just gonna primer them using a brush. Now I'm gonna mix some epoxy and get it on them. In addition to last month, I also added the spindle and the strut rod. Actually, I did that on both sides. Everything functions properly. The only issue I had when doing this was these lower control arms, because the castle nut on them, it's a little bit too short. I searched for the old castle nut, and just by looking at it, it's a little taller, but there's no big deal. I'll just reuse these old ones and it should be fine. I'm also thinking in the future I might get higher quality ones, but as for now I'm just gonna leave them and maybe replace them later. So I just did a final torque on these. They say to go between 60 to 90 foot-pounds. So I went about 70 or 75, I think. And it looks good. I also did the other side as well. So when parts are on the way, or you don't actually have enough money to buy the parts that you need to continue on this stuff, you must put these things on hold and move to other stuff. This is my rear differential that I'm gonna reuse. It's an 8-inch. This is what came with the car from the factory. And what I'm planning to do is I already masked the floor because I don't want any gunky, slimy stuff around. So I'm gonna clean it up and also open it to see what's inside. I'm also gonna remove these brake lines because they are in the way, and after that I'm gonna hit it with this brush, and that should get it somewhat almost ready to have it sandblasted. So this is actually the moment when you find cool stuff under the dirt, such as this marking right here. I don't know what it says, but I need to clean it more and I'll figure it out. So I cleaned everything as best as possible. Now I'm gonna go ahead and remove the drums. This part can be kind of tricky because the shoes are pressing against the drum. So what I'm gonna do in this case is I'm gonna go over on this side, pry this open and release the mechanism so I can get the drum off. This is actually an adjusting screw, so you can put the screwdriver here and release it. The drum is removed. This is how the inside of a back drum looks like. This is the adjusting screw that I was talking about. Now I'm gonna go ahead and remove this whole mechanism and clean everything up. This thing actually has a smart mechanism because when you're pushing the brakes and the brake shoes go further apart into the drum to stop the car, this also acts like an automatic adjustment. This kind of unscrews out, and this guy right here acts like a locking mechanism. Also, when removing these, you gotta be very careful because they kind of hold a lot of tension, so you don't want to get hit in the face or something like that. So what you need to do is carefully pry them out, and that should be fine. I went ahead and put the differential on 2 chairs. I went ahead and removed the fill plug. Now I'll turn this around and hopefully spill all the oil in this bucket and not on the ground. This is the oil that came out of the differential. The first test you can make is to see if there are any metal shavings in it, and there are quite a few. So this one definitely needs a rebuild. So I got a bit carried on and removed a lot of things off camera. I removed the plates, I removed the axles, and checking these, I gotta say it is pretty good news because they look in very good condition. Also, regarding the axles, you can't really screw up with this because they are different sizes. The smaller one goes on the driver's side. Also, for future reference, this plate with the left side drilled goes on that side. I also went ahead and removed all the nuts that hold on this cap. Now I'm gonna have to carefully pry it open. I'm not gonna use a pry bar or something like that because I might damage the surface right here, but I think I'm gonna use this mallet and carefully tap it on the side, and hopefully it will come out.
So this is the sound that the sandblaster makes. Right now I'm waiting for the parts to get finished, and after this I'm gonna prep them and get them primered. Now, even though I started with the idea of doing all the car myself, there are some things that I can't do, like when I needed to sandblast the whole body of the car, or other small parts as well. Now, the rear differential situation is like this. Given the fact that I don't have the proper tools to do it, I decided to take it to someone else. So I took it to a shop near me, and I let the guys take out all the gears and all that stuff. I brought the housing to the sandblaster. Right now I'm waiting for the parts to get finished, and after that I will primer them and get them back to the guys at the shop to mount the gears in them and basically make the whole differential brand new again. Okay, so I got everything set now. I'm gonna degrease them and get ready for spraying. Also went ahead and added the hood latch.
This one is kept by 3 bolts at the top and 1 bolt at the bottom. And this is actually what the hood latches to. And you can also adjust this left and right. So I finished mounting all the steering links. It was a slow, tedious process, took like 2 hours or so. Everything needed adjustment, but I took my time and it's finally finished. Along with this, I also mounted the cross member. The only thing that I didn't put on yet is the sway bar, because I think I did it again and I bought the wrong bushings, because these don't really fit in here. The sway bar is a lot bigger than the bushing itself, but I think I'm gonna do a bit more research and see if I can modify this one or maybe buy a new one. I decided to actually go to a local parts store since they are a pretty common piece, and I found these. They are from Renault Clio or Megane or something like that, and they are the same size, but the hole is a lot bigger, so they should fit perfectly. So the stabilizer bar is mounted, the bushings work perfectly. Also added a little bit of grease there, and that being said, I'm gonna call it a night. Yep, that's the way to do it. And right now, the moment we've all been waiting for, or at least I did. This is a Wilwood disc brake conversion kit. So we have the rotors here, we have the brake calipers, some hardware. I believe these are the fittings for the calipers. Here we have just a few bearings and the cap. These are the brackets that will hold the brake caliper to the spindle. The kit also comes with brake lines and all the instructions you need. In addition to the disc brake kit, I also bought a Wilwood master cylinder from a friend. It also have a proportioning valve, and this guy right here would actually help you adjust the braking power in the back. It has the brake lines already made for it, but I think I'm gonna do a few small changes, because this is where the firewall sits and this guy will not go through the firewall. So I will need to bring this a little to the left, and also I think also the proportioning valve, bring it here. Also got a set of keys right here. These are specifically made for brake lines, because I kind of messed up a few fittings and I don't want to do that again, so I went ahead and got these, and these are exactly what I need. I didn't film the whole process because I was on a tight schedule, but if you get one of these kits, the instructions are very easy to follow and straightforward, and I liked it very much because everything went smoothly. After this, the car should perform a lot better when it will be on the road, and it will be a lot safer, and overall I can say this was the best bang for the buck. So in this month's video I did a lot of stupid things. The first stupid thing that I did was I came to the garage eager to work, not having enough materials, and I ended up actually ruining my gun because I didn't have enough natural reducer to clean it afterwards. The second stupid thing that I did was I overused my compressor. So hopefully it's just a blown fuse or something like that. I don't know, I didn't check that yet. But that led to it not working. The third stupid thing, which is kind of tied to the second stupid thing that I did, given the fact that I broke my compressor, I remain with half of the parts that I sandblasted, and I couldn't really primer them using the gun, so I had to use a brush, which is not really that professional, but it kind of did its job at the moment. And the worst stupid thing of all that I did was actually trusting someone else with my parts. So given the fact that I found metal shavings in the rear differential, I came up with the idea of actually taking it somewhere else to have the guys change the bearings and all that stuff that's inside, because I don't have the presses and everything to do so. But I took it to them, they removed the gears and all that, and after about a week I tried contacting them, and at first they didn't respond to my phone calls, and after that when they did, they told me to wait because they will get back to me and they have some questions or something like that. But that didn't happen. I called them once again, they put me to wait a second time. They said they would contact me, and basically it's been, I think, 2 weeks or something like that. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go there tomorrow, I'm gonna get my parts, and I'm gonna do it myself, just like the rest of the car. So I guess this is it for this month's video. We did make a little bit of progress here and there, but overall we screwed up a lot of things, but it is what it is. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments below. And yeah, I guess this is it. See you next month. Bye.